Okay, guys, I wanted to make a little follow-up video. I came across this video on YouTube. It was on the Majority Report with Sam Cedar. And basically, Michael, if you do watch the show, you know Michael, he was kind of explaining how a lot of Americans, middle Americans, actually live in a bubble. They really can't relate to people outside of that. And that's kind of why they voted the way they did. I do buy into that to a certain degree. However, it really doesn't account for a certain disdain and actual hatred that I've concluded white people have for people that are not white. And what you'll notice here is Chris Hayes was doing a video, um, looks like a town meeting, with Bernie Sanders and a group of Trump voters. And basically, we're at the point where a Muslim woman asked them that if they don't share in a hatred for Muslims, if they're not into anti-Muslim rhetoric, as they claim, why did they vote for Trump? And basically, their response, the guy that's in the far left with the glasses, he said that that was all rhetoric. It was just talk to stir up the people and to stir up dialogue, and he really didn't mean it. And if there's no way something like that would get through Congress, and if it did get through Congress, it would be stopped by the Supreme Court. And if it didn't get stopped by the Supreme Court, the average good person out there would not let any harm come to any American citizen because of their religion. That's what his claim was. and and Mike even had to stop it and say he thought that was incredibly naive to even think something like that. And if you watched any of my earlier videos or follow me on Twitter, you'll know that studies have shown. I'm a big admirer of Phil Zimbardo. He did the Stanford prison experiment, but studies have shown that most people will just go along with the crowd. If people, in fact, even Joe Fagan, the one who was a co-author of Two-Faced Racism, he states during the research they had over 600 college students do research on every time they witnessed a racist incident or heard a racist comment. Only 2 out of 100 at the most took any courage to intercede or to say something about it. Only 2 out of 100, 2%. So, do you think that a Trump voter, who, if he was honest, would just say, "Hey, he thinks the way I think," if he was honest, but he's not honest. And those of us who are less confused understand that that culture breeds duplicitousness. And you saw my video with Julie Lansman. She said that all white people learn how to be duplicitous. So if you believe that this person is going to be there to protect you, give me one piece of evidence to back up what you're stating. Go online, look up all the different race incidents that have happened since Trump was elected by the Electoral College, and find one incident where somebody came to the defense of the person being racially attacked. Find one, post it in my comments. That's the challenge I put out there. There have been over 800. I have yet to hear of one incident, and these are in public places, majority of them, in public places where there are plenty of other people around. I challenge you to find one time when a good, moral human being came to the defense of somebody being oppressed and abused. It just does not happen. People are neither good or bad. They can be swayed either way depending upon what the influence is. But I'm digressing. Anyway, out of the four, this guy, the woman to the left of Bernie, and the guy with the cap on, all claimed that it was just political rhetoric, and that they really didn't want to see anybody, just because of your religion, that you'd be mistreated. However, the woman in the blue with the scarf around her neck said no. She didn't speak about Muslims, obviously, because the person who asked the question was Muslim, but she did say that she felt immigrants were driving down her wages, and she did want them to see them go. Now, the point of this is, Mike on the Majority Report was trying to say how naive they were and that these people were foolish. I don't believe that they were foolish. I believe they're being duplicitous. They're being one way in public and another way behind closed doors. And if you're honest, I'm sure you've seen evidence to support what I'm saying. People act a certain way behind closed doors than they do in public, especially people who feel they are entitled to rights and privileges that nobody else is. And that's what white supremacy is all about. It is about white domination, controlling every activity of human existence. They just want to control everything. That's white supremacy. It's not about feeling you're superior genetically, though many use that as a rationale for white supremacy. It's about white dominance. I just wanted to clear that up, and I do invite you. I'm gonna put the link to the video underneath this one, and see if Mike and them are not kind of soft selling the degree of ignorance and naivete of the Trump voters, and that it's not, and see if you don't suspect that it may be something a little bit more nefarious uh, than what they're suggesting. I mean, even Bernie Sanders at the very end, he asked, well, if he didn't mean it, why would you vote for somebody who lied to you? I mean, answer. Do you think those people are that foolish that they don't know exactly what was meant during? They knew that Trump meant what he said. If he could get it through, he could get it through, and I believe that they actually back it up. They're just too ashamed to voice it at this time. But we'll see what happens in the future. Until my next video.